The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah, go Cowboys!
This is Mick Shots.
Streaming live on DallasCowboys.com and the official Dallas Cowboys app.
And now your hosts, Mickey Spagnola, Everson Walls, Nate Newton, and Bill Jones.
And then we'll get to Everson, right?
Well, I feel like there's a pretty good tempo. I think there's good competition. I think the coaches are doing a good job of regulating the situations and really putting these guys in different environments to where they have to respond based upon whatever strategy situation they're in. Down and distance, number of timeouts, field of possession. They had I think that towards the end of practice, They had a little situation where they had a point system going on between the defense scores so many points if they have a fourth down hold versus a field goal or whatever it may be. So I think the guys are responding well. Nobody's out here being reckless. That's one of the things I know as former players that we look for is guys, taking care of each other, fitting, making sure they have their fits, make sure they're punching the ball out on defense, ball security on offense, and you don't want to see guys on the ground. But overall, I think it's been pretty well, except for a couple of balls that didn't make it through the goalpost.
Man. And we will get to that.
Don't even bring up that right there, man. He kick it. But I was impressed because this is the fourth day where the tempo was good. Normally the first few days is real shabby. Then the coaches have to get on them to pick it up. And by the time the scrimmage comes, the tempo will be a little bit better. Well, this tempo has been holding pretty steady and pretty consistent, and I like that. Now, the first few days, our offense, I'm like, whoa. I was taken back because normally the defense takes over early. But it's reversed, and our defense is starting to really clamp down. So I had a few talks with a couple of defensive guys. I said, did y'all go at the players? They said, nah. They said, as these guys get comfortable and as guys see where the competition coming from, guys are starting to pick up their games. Now, Isaiah said it wasn't reckless. I think we had one guy that went out of line. I can't think who it was. And he almost had a hissy fit, if you can say that on air. But you know what? Mistakes happen, Isaiah. He just bumped into him.
Yeah,
Well, I don't know if you call it a bump.
Yeah, he bumped into him. Jimmy would have said, hey, that's just a thud up.
I almost got only one fight in my entire career.
Right.
And it was something like that.
Okay.
And it was from a safety some dude by the name of Roy Williams.
Right.
Took a cheap shot on me in practice, and I saw red, Mick.
And they always seem to do it with a number that you have to look up the name, right?
Yeah, it was
poor young guys.
The dude feeling that pressure, man. The competition is so great at safety and at D lineman. Where you're gonna see guys taking shots on quarterbacks, you're gonna see guys taking shots at receivers. You're gonna see it.
I tell you what has impressed me is how competitive it's been. And you mentioned how the offense got off to a good start, the defense started catching up. But for the last couple of practices, I think it's been both ways.
Yeah.
You've seen the offense play well, and at the same time, the defense play well. So if I'm the head coach, I'm happy about that, except for the head coach's the offensive coordinator.
See, the thing about it with the offense, you got guys that are flashing big this year. You know, the Brook kid, he's flashing big. Young, I can't think of it. It's Bass. TJ Bass. He's doing okay. Richardson, the other guard, the draft pick, they're doing it. They're just showing flashes, but it's no consistency. The defense is starting to roll, and it's consistent. It's consistent. And we know number 11, thanks to you, we can't even get one out of every 3 plays is a blow up because of you. Stop it.
And you can't really evaluate the tackles, right?
Thank you.
Because he's doing that to everybody across the league.
Hey, he's making their job easier when the preseason games show up.
Right?
Yes,
he's
sir.
He's making their job easier.
Yes, sir.
Other people are going to look like they're moving in slow motion.
Because you're trying to sit there and evaluate where Tyron Smith is, right? Mm-hmm. You know, because it's been a while since he's been at left tackle.
Right.
You know, even though he's done it for all these years, you know, he missed 2/3 of the season,
right.
Maybe 3/4 of the season last year. No, you know, missed at the end of training camp. And then he gets back and he plays right tackle. And so now he's back at left tackle. And to me, part of this training camp was to see, can he handle left tackle again?
Right.
You know, he's with 13th season. Is he ready to do that? Because otherwise you got to put Tyler Smith out there. And he's been fine except for those rushes from Parsons.
Yes.
Right? And then you're sitting there going, oh. But again, he does that to everybody.
The thing that is the thing as an offensive player, and the thing that I've been coached by Tony Wise and Hudson Hawk and guys such of that ilk, is when we play against great players like that, or practice against a Charles Haley or Leon Lett that had exceptionally long arms, you know, and coach technique, you still have to trust in your technique. And now that never give up, that's where it really kicks in. You got a technique, and finish. Even though this guy's blowing by you 100 miles, you still got to know technique. Get your hands on him and fight as best you can, because, like Isaiah said, once you get – those guys are 1 in every 15. So you ain't going to play with them guys maybe twice a year.
Yep.
So you just got to trust in your technique.
All right, the kickers. I think that caused everybody to kind of taken back that they had that bad of a day after they've been
great. After they've been great, bro.
I mean, the young, well, he's not a young kid. His first year, he's a rookie. Brandon Aubrey probably has been the most consistent of the two with Tristan Vizcaino. And both guys just struggled. Now, I understand what they did. They made them kick into the wind, and it was towards you guys where you were sitting. When you're on the field, you don't feel the wind, but up there in those trees,
it swirls.
It swirls,
yeah.
And they were consistently missing left. I think I saw one miss right. I think it was off of the upright, but everything was left. And Aubrey missed,
and we were left,
and you were left, right?
Yeah, coming ahead of us.
Yeah, Aubrey missed his first. It was a extra point, basically 33 yards. When they, and then he made 6 of the last 7. So he kind of got it back together. But then when they did Thunder, which is they run out there in a hurry
Rush
to
field
kick,
goal.
right? With with the clock running and time running out in the period, he struggled. He was the only one that made. They were 1 of 6.
Yeah,
he was 1 of 3, and Vizcaino was 0 of 3, and it was like, oh my. And I think that got the attention maybe of the front office. It's like, okay, we got to see what happens. If they kick today, we got to see how they come back. Because in that part of it, you have a bad day. Now, can you correct yourself?
Yeah, you got to be able to bounce back. I mean, but at the end of the day, first of all, let us apologize, because I know from where Nate and I were sitting, along with Bill Jones and Kyle, we we didn't have the TV shot, so apparently on the
Right.
live stream they had it overhead. So if we were up there guessing in terms of how far the field goal was,
Right.
we didn't have the great perspective. But in terms of that competition, it's not what you want to see, man. You think about it from an offensive perspective. You know, as a former quarterback, receiver, tight end, whatever you want to call me, you're all about moving those chains, and everything you're doing is trying to get the ball down into scoring position. Now, you like to walk away with 6, right? And
Right.
obviously, that's your goal as an offense. But sometimes you got to take the 3. But when you get in that position, you expect the 3. You're not hoping for the 3. You don't want to wish the 3. You expect the 3. And for somebody that's in there banging every doggone play, in there with the big fellas working their way down the line of scrimmage, I know that you want to walk away with some points. Otherwise, all that work you just did was for nothing.
I just, I don't believe in curses and all spells and all of that. But it's something about that goalpost down there.
Right.
It ruined like 4 kickers last year. It's about to ruin 2 this year. So best to side with the Cowboys after they break training camp.
Facts.
Because
Right.
if you go to that field goal,
You're doomed.
it's over.
So when they initially kicked they were supposed to kick 7. Vizcaino got an extra one because the snap was. And
Right.
by the way, some of those snaps weren't very good from. Is he Sig? Is that how you say it?
I don't know, man.
Well, he had one that came on. The snap came in flat.
Right.
And I know as a kicker, you've got to be able to kick, right?
Right.
Regardless, but it came in flat. The hold was
bad,
late,
yeah.
and so they gave him another one.
So the operation was bad.
Yeah, the operation. And then during the Thunder part, he had one that was real high to Aubrey, and it threw him off. So
So the
the
it's
first.
important to have a long snapper that's consistent.
Well, he's got to, and this is a new operation, right?
yeah.
New kicker and new deep snapper. The only thing the same is
The punter.
anger as the holder. Yeah. So the first series of kicks, they were between 33 and 48.
You talking about all together, not including the end zone.
Yeah, 33 yards and 48 yards.
Okay.
Total. That was the
And they
kicks.
That was a range.
So,
was missing.
so Aubrey was 5 of 7,
Which
and
one was-
Vizcaino was 4 of 8. And then when they did the Thunder, they each had a couple that were 50 yards, and Aubrey tried to power one through, and he hit like, I'm going to kick this harder.
All of them had distance except
Right.
for one.
Right.
As I remember, I think one of them
Yeah,
came up
one-
short.
yeah.
The rest of them had plenty of.
They had distance,
Yeah.
but they were going left,
Yeah,
right?
somebody blew 'em to
and
the left.
when I was talking with somebody, it's like, well, okay, but then you got to adjust. You know where the ball's going. Although it's like, I mean, what little I play golf. If you sit there and you try to play the wind, and then when you try to play the
You
wind
overcompensate, yep.
isn't there, and then you overcompensate. So.
It's like an old school outfielder, Mick. You got to grab some grass, throw it
Right,
in the air.
throw it in the
see
air.
where it's going.
So I think if they kick today or if they wait till tomorrow, we got to see a rebound. Otherwise, I would imagine they're going to start saying, okay, we might have to have a little kicking caravan.
Well, I
come
mean,
in.
there is a free agent out there, who just happened to be one of the best in the history of the game of football. There's somebody they might have to take a peek at over there, over Robbie Gold. I think.
Yeah, Robbie Gold is great, but I like to see him in the curse of that bad
Right.
goalpost
Well,
over there.
and here's the deal with Robbie Gold. Because he's not good at it, he's already said he doesn't want to go anywhere where he has to kick off.
Oh, okay.
And
So now you gotta
when
carry
I was
extra.
asking around, why don't they bring in Robbie Gold? It's like, okay, but then we got to have somebody kick off because he's not very good
canceled
at
himself
it.
out of a job.
And it's going to be even more important this year with the new rule of the fair catch. If the ball's beyond the 25-yard line.
Break, station, break. Isaiah, stand back as an Android guy, and he don't know how to use Dell computers.
It timed out. It timed out.
Help him out, Chris.
No,
Bean.
it needs a password.
Yeah,
to sign in.
this dude
Because
don't know-
what we
this
were going to
dude.
do is let you know that we've got a podcast text line, 817-290-3298. And if you text us, we've got questions that we can answer here during the show, but it can't time out on them.
No, I can't time out.
Don't touch anything.
I'm not going to touch it.
No, he needs to touch it. He needs to touch it so it doesn't time out.
No, don't touch the buttons. Touch the little pad.
No,
there.
I got it. I'm
I
good.
know Android products don't have a pad in the bottom.
There are some good questions on here, though, so make sure you guys keep sending them in. I'm taking a peek at them as they come through, and we'll definitely address them.
So from an injury standpoint, they had a couple guys jump back into practice. Dorrance Armstrong had been out with a hamstring. He was back in. Donovan Wilson, I've been told, now people got to see him out here. He had been working out with the trainers when nobody was around, and I'm told his high calf muscle, I believe it was, is doing better. And so maybe, I don't know if he gets back this week, but he's close.
Right.
So they're encouraged by his progress. Izzy McQuamu was back out there. So they're getting some of these guys with the soft tissue injuries back out there. And I think Jordan Lewis, who was placed on PUP, right? I'm watching him run, so he's getting close to getting back out here, which will create more competition in that secondary, because without him here, them young guys, Bland has played well. Eric Scott continues to play well. So there'll be some more competition to be in that top 4 at the cornerback position.
It's going to be very competitive in that secondary. That's based upon some of the names you just gave. And kudos to the front office for securing the secondary. When you think about this starting lineup, all 3 safeties are locked in.
Right.
All 3 of them, right?
Right.
You got Hooker, Wilson, Curse, all those guys are locked in contracts. So kudos to that. You look on the outside. Well, you shored up Trayvon, right? You have Gilmore on the opposite side. You have a young Deron Bland. So your starting secondary is locked in for at least the next few years.
Were you guys good with them re-signing Hooker? 3-year deal?
Yeah.
Yes.
$24 million.
Yep.
See, one thing we can rest assured when our secondary is the guys that they signed, you don't mind because they're good enough and the money is there. And so I got something on my face.
Both of us.
Man, you got me real.
There was.
Oh, I'm like, you doing all this? I'm like, wow, man, there's something on my face.
It's the trees.
The
I was cleaning my face.
Y'all got something on my face.
They've been watching Friday, y'all.
Yeah, but this dude got me, dog. He rubbing his face.
You can't see anything on yours if it's a bug, right?
Okay, yeah. Black Whoa.
Oh!
Shots fired.
Nick shots.
Nick shots,
Nick
exactly.
shots. Good one.
So you were saying about
But I'm telling
Hooker.
you, even when Wilson went down and Kwamu, even when those guys got banged up, you didn't worry. You're like, okay, next guy up, Bell. Next guy up. Let's do your thing.
And they've had Bell out there,
Yeah.
Wanye Thomas.
Yeah.
I do worry about Israel Mukuamu.
Yes.
I worry about his ability to have enough time now, after having missed majority of training camp at this point, to show that he should be on this roster. Even though he has some cred over the last year that he was coming along, but we just talked about it. Those 3 starters are there. Right, those guys are locked in. They're not going anywhere.
Right.
But then you have a couple of young cats. You got Marquise Bell, that's going to be in there. You have the Tyler Coyle that's going to be in there. You got Israel Mukuamu. Those guys are going to be fighting for some playing time as well. So you can't miss all of training camp. And I know he's not his choice.
Right.
I've been in that position. It sucks, but he needs to get out there and get some reps, and he needs these preseason games because there's a lot of other guys that are vying for positions that are going to affect how many guys are going to be kept in the secondary, especially when you're running a 3-safety set.
You will learn quickly the difference between injury and I'm hurt.
And hurt.
Right?
Yeah. Because you hit that waiver wire, you'll be like, wow,
And
I could have practiced.
I'm sure there was a reaction out there. Oh, they signed Hooker. Why don't they get these other guys signed? But what happens is they sign guys that are willing to sign. Some guys don't want to do it. Now, he's a veteran, 28 years old. He realizes the jeopardy you put yourself in playing in that last year of your contract. And I thought the neat thing about him is what he said is, I didn't want to go anywhere. I felt like I was home, and I had these guys were my guys, and I wanted to stay.
Right.
So, they were able to, meet in the middle of a contract, and he was fine. He didn't need to be the highest paid safety out there, right? He just needed some security, and
Right.
$16 million guaranteed. That's a lot of security for a guy that was coming off an Achilles.
Exactly.
Right? Which is, as you know, a very tough thing to come back from.
Yep.
As a matter of fact, I told him, I said, when you got back and did all what you were doing, I said, you gave me incentive that when I tore mine that I could at least come back and be normal, right? I got to play a football game.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that was a really good signing. I think we need to probably take a break here on Mick Shots. And remember, if you got a question, we have a podcast text line, 817-290-3298. Isaiah is monitoring that, and we'll be back in a moment.
I'm Dak Prescott, quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys. Blockchain.com is one of the most trusted ways to buy, sell, and trade crypto. Whether you're always on the go or stay closer to home, Blockchain.com is just a few taps away. Put the power of crypto in your pocket, so no matter where you are, you can trade on your terms and build a crypto portfolio to fit your life. For crypto pros, rookies, and anyone in between, Blockchain.com makes it easy to own a piece of the future. Blockchain.com, trusted by millions, trusted by America's team.
The Medal of Honor is our country's highest military award for valor in combat. More than 40 million individuals have served in the armed forces since the Civil War. Fewer than 4,000 have received the Medal of Honor. The National Medal of Honor Museum will be a place to preserve these legacies and inspire America. It's being built right next door to the Dallas Cowboys in Texas. Help us honor our country's greatest heroes. Learn more and get involved at mohmuseum.org.
Star Sports Tours is the only official fan travel partner of the Dallas Cowboys, offering exclusive game weekend travel packages with pre-game sideline access and photo ops with current players, cheerleaders, and Cowboy legends. You want to stay at a team hotel, attend the best tailgate party in Texas, tour the Star, and talk X's and O's with me, Everson Walls? With Star Sports Tours, you can. Visit cowboystravel.com to book your travel package today.
We know that juicy, cheesy, grilled to perfection burger sounds amazing, but it does sound like something is missing. Pepsi, baby! The yin to this burger's yang. Burgers and Pepsi go together like burgers and Pepsi. This perfect blending of flavors makes every bite of lettuce, every sesame seed on the bun, and every sip of that crisp, refreshing, ice-cold cola a journey to Foodtopia. Burgers, better with Pepsi. That's what I like.
Back to Mick Shots.
K-Post Roofing and Waterproofing, proud partner of the Dallas Cowboys, and we're glad they're with us on Mick Shots here on DallasCowboys.com from lovely Oxnard, California. Although I was saying lovely,
it's
and
not so lovely today.
It's cloudy out here.
But you know, we'll take it because once we go back home, it's 30 degrees hotter.
Right.
At least,
right? So it'll get to 74 here today, and it's 104 back home. Probably.
And the low of the day back home, I think, is like 84. So it gets up to 74 here, and it doesn't go below 84 back home.
I say it every year when we come here and get out of that heat and live here in Oxnard for a month, puts another year on my life.
I believe it. All
right, so one of the things that I did want to get to, and I don't know if you guys got a chance to watch any of the Hall of Fame stuff with DeMarcus Ware giving his induction speech, along with Scott Hawley stepping in for his dad, Chuck Hawley, who played for the Cowboys from 61 to 73, getting in as a senior. His health situation didn't allow him to be there, which was a shame. Yeah. And that's why I always say, why do they wait so on these guys so long when they can't really enjoy it? Yeah. He's in late stage of dementia, and the sad part is his wife's kind of in the same situation. So he was unable to travel. So his son, Scott, gave the acceptance speech, and I thought it was pretty cool at the end. I don't know if you guys got to see it. He said, hey, I want to do a favor to my dad. On the count of 3, let's scream, hello, Chuck. And they did it, right? And Scott was telling us that he wasn't sure that his dad his attention span is short, and he wasn't sure how much of it he could watch. So he thought maybe if he just throws a shot out there, right, that maybe it would hit home with him. And then DeMarcus knocked it out of the park. He was pretty emotional, talking about, you know, early in his career his life when he was a kid, he had a situation, and I had never heard this story from him, where somebody he was around got shot, and there was a knife on the ground, and he picked up the knife and looked at the guy that did the shooting, and the guy put the gun to his head, and he dropped the knife. And he said, I had to make a decision right then and there who I was going to be. And he said he thought about that a lot when he was working out, and it was incentive to keep going and be successful. So a kid that was probably a 188-pound receiver when he got to Troy, they turned him into a Hall of Fame defensive end. He was. It was good. It was good to see that. As a matter of fact, I don't know if you guys were out here, but when Coach McCarthy was getting ready to start his press conference, Ware was in the middle of his speech, and he saw us all watching on a computer, and he just said, "Yeah, let's watch it." And so he watched and put his press conference off until DeMarcus was over. Yeah, he said it was important. So. Yeah, and I know, Nate, you usually go to those things.
Yeah, man. If I'd have got invites, I'd have been gone, man. I'm gonna go.
You'd have left us.
Oh yeah, easily, man. This is a once in a lifetime thing, and normally, 90% of the time, the Hall of Fame gets it right.
Yeah,
and so, and if a Cowboy going in, knowing that it's a conspiracy against us Cowboy fans, Isaiah, I ain't feeling it, bro.
Brad Sham did go.
Yes.
Got an invite from DeMarcus Ware and said it was really good. It was great hooking up with a lot of the players from that era. He got a chance to say hi to Jay Ratliff. Travis Frederick was there. Miles Austin was there.
That was great. That would have been a great thing to see.
So he got to, see those guys that played with DeMarcus. So he said, yeah, it was really nice to spend some time with those guys, that they show up and to support him. So, and made a big deal too of his dad being there, who wasn't really part of his life growing up, and recently has gotten back in with DeMarcus, and DeMarcus basically said, the thing I told my dad is, I forgive you. And he said, I hadn't really told him that previously. See, those things are flying around on us.
Yeah.
So anyway,
I tell you like this here, man, and this is going towards DeMarcus, where for all you people that have family members, wherever you're at in that relationship, say you're sorry and start living from that day. And I think that's what DeMarcus did with his father. It's like, okay, you're back. The past is the past. We forgive you. Let's start living from this day.
Yeah.
And I do that with my family members who I hadn't seen in a while. They got something against me, and I didn't know it. I'm like, hey, whatever it is I did, I'm sorry. Hey, but let's start living from this day, man.
Yeah, it was pretty powerful. So as we go on here in Mick shots, the tight end position, Peyton Hendershot and this guy named John Stevens, that a lot of people probably don't even know who he is.
They will.
Have really stepped up. And they've got like 4 or 5 tight ends,
yes.
And we still haven't seen Luke Schoonmaker out there. He's getting closer, maybe this week, I'm told, so we'll see. But the other guys, I think there was a lot of people worried that because Dalton Schultz left on his own accord, by the way, because they wanted to re-sign him to a long-term deal, and he didn't want to do it. He was butthurt from last year having to make just $10 million on a franchise, and he ends up in Houston. Wow. But these other guys have stepped up, so I was trying to see what you guys thought of what's been going on at the tight end position.
I think you have the sure thing in Ferguson.
Right.
Ferguson, I think that's going to be your main guy that you're going to and that you're looking towards. So kudos to them for bringing him in last year because of the potential of Dalton Schultz leaving. But behind that,
Has he got an inside joke here with us on Ferguson?
Behind that, you really don't know. I think Peyton Hendershot is their reception guy.
Right.
When they find themselves in the third down situation, it's going to be Peyton Hendershot. When they find
red zone too,
and red zone as well,
Yeah.
it's going to be Peyton Hendershot because he's the shiftiest of all the tight ends. Now, behind those two, right? Those are the guys that you brought in last year. Now you're looking at Big Stevenson, like that you just mentioned. He's 6'6". Really looks like a basketball player out there. This big basketball player looking guy who can go up there and high point the ball. He looks very raw. He looks like a project, and I don't say that in a negative sense. I just think that he's not a developed tight end yet.
Right.
But he has all the attributes there. Just, you got all the ingredients. Excuse me. Lunda Welsh just has to put it all in the pot, and and you just need a chef to be able to make it happen. So, and that's the man to do it. But you got Princeton Fant out there as well. That's gonna try to show up. I think he's more of a road grader more than anything. He's probably the most physical of all those tight ends. But right off the bat, you're thinking Schoonmaker's going to be there. Ferguson's going to be your main tight end. He'll eat a lot. He'll get a lot of yardage this year off of this type of offense. And then Hendershot is your main guy, and then they'll probably carry a fourth guy. Who is that going to be? Is it going to be the guy that wants to go up there and high point in the red zone? Or is it going to be a Fant that can go out there and be a road grader on special teams? Like, who are you going to try to pick up?
And I think the guy that I think has shown that he probably deserves to be back on the roster is Sean McEwen. I think that he, from a blocking standpoint, a guy that you can use as an H-back, and he'll catch a pass or two for you. So, yeah, it's kind of crowded, right?
Yes.
And, when we talk about John Stevens and the Cowboys, they understand what he is, but they also look at it, we look at it as a 53, right? They look at it as 16 more guys on the practice squad. And that might be his fate.
Yeah, that's right.
To start off, right? So McEwen, it'll be interesting to see, because of late we've got to see a little more of Lupke, the fullback, right?
Lupke, yeah.
And can you how many tight ends can you keep? And if you want to keep a fullback, so something's got to give there.
I don't see that going that way. That's not Nate's time anymore.
I just think the better blocking tight end should be if you keep a third or fourth guy, it should be a blocking tight end, because as the season go on and things get hectic, that's what you need is an extra blocker. Somebody, if we lose a Tyron Smith, or we may need that extra blocker. I want a guy that don't mind getting a little dirty.
Yep. And I thought last year that was the problem with the tight end position.
Yes.
They didn't
we
block
couldn't get
very,
on the end.
When you go two tight ends, well, okay, that means I got two extra guys blocking, but that wasn't the case last year.
You're going to see a lot more, excuse me, you're going to see a lot more of that this year as well. Two tight end sets. You're going to have it where the offense is coming to the line of scrimmage and it looks even. One receiver on each side, one tight end on each side, and it's going to give Dak the opportunity to put the team in the best situation. Sometimes you might see him to come to the line of scrimmage and say over or kill. Right. Well, he might have had a run play going to the right, and now he just killed it to the left, but the defense has no idea which way he was going in the first place. Right. So to Nate's point, you need tight ends that can not only get out into their routes, get nice releases, and catch the ball, but these guys have to be able to block. Because if you have an ace set, right, where you come up, you have a tight end on each side, I need to have the confidence to be able to run to either direction. And these guys are going to be out on the edge, and they're going to be obviously combo blocking with the tackles. So these guys have to know what the heck they're doing at the line of scrimmage. Hendershot's not that guy right now. He's not that guy.
Not, right.
Sean McEwen is that type of guy, but Sean McEwen is like I would say Sean McEwen is like tofu. He's consistent. Right, he's consistent, but there ain't a lot of flavor there.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, there's not a lot of flavor there. Like
maybe that's why I don't like tofu.
Yeah, it's like so. I mean, like, you're not going to get anything exceptional, or nor do you expect anything exceptional. But consistency, there's something that that to be said about that as well.
Our second round pick, tight end. Where is he at, Mick?
He's getting close. He's got the plantar fasciitis that he showed up with, so that was why he was on NFI, non-football injury.
He's a big dude.
You know what? I finally saw him just like I said, gosh, this guy's big.
Yeah, he's massive.
I mean, he's got to be like 6'5", 6'6".
Where's Schoonmaker?
What is his? What do they got him listed at?
Where we at here? What's his number? I forgot his doggone number.
86.
There you go. Well, he's not even on this doggone sheet.
Yeah, he's
6'5", 255.
There he is. Yep.
So he needs to get out there. And, the thing with the plantar fasciitis, and I don't know if either one of you
I've
ever
had
it,
that.
You got to tear it, and he didn't tear it. It was just strained, and it lasted a long time. How long did it take?
I done had a lot of injuries, bad injuries. But I remember going in that training room, and Jim Myers said, "Hey, man, you want to hold my hand?" And I'm thinking, like, hold your hand. I'm Nate Newton, baby.
Yeah.
But I say, something told me, like, yeah, I'll grab your hand just to see, since you want me to hold your hand, I'll hold your hand so you'll be safe. That's what I told him. When they stuck that needle in my foot, and I screamed, and I looked up, and everybody was laughing at me. I was like, yeah, big tough guy, yeah. But, man, that hurts.
Right.
That hurt, but I finally tore mine. That's the best thing that can happen. Just go on and tear it.
Yeah.
And get it over with. Get that shot and be done with it. After that, I was on my road to recovery.
Would the shot cause it to tear?
Well, no, I just couldn't really feel it because it healed me. To help heal me.
See.
Yeah, to help. After that, I really couldn't feel it. I tore it. It finally. I was ready.
Didn't Russell Maryland have that too? They gave him a metal plate to put in his shoe.
Yeah, but Russell had bad feet.
He had good feet to play, but just bad.
But yeah, Grandma Haney feet.
Goodness gracious.
And with that, we'll take our second break here on Mick Shots as we are out here on a cloudy day in Oxnard, California, where it's probably not even 70 degrees yet.
The Medal of Honor is our country's highest military award for valor in combat. More than 40 million individuals have served in the armed forces since the Civil War. Fewer than 4,000 have received the Medal of Honor. The National Medal of Honor Museum will be a place to preserve these legacies and inspire America. It's being built right next door to the Dallas Cowboys in Texas. Help us honor our country's greatest heroes. Learn more and get involved at mohmuseum.org.
I'm Dak Prescott, quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys. Blockchain.com is one of the most trusted ways to buy, sell, and trade crypto. Whether you're always on the go or stay closer to home, Blockchain.com is just a few taps away. Put the power of crypto in your pocket, so no matter where you are, you can trade on your terms and build a crypto portfolio to fit your life. For crypto pros, rookies, and anyone in between, Blockchain.com makes it easy to own a piece of the future. Blockchain.com, trusted by millions, trusted by America's team.
Hey, Cowboys fans, ready to spice up your next watch party? Bring Yo Quiero guacamole and be the game day hero. Yo Quiero means I want, and we know you want great, fresh-tasting, ready-to-serve guacamole for your home gating and tailgating events. Made with real avocados and the perfect blend of spices, it will be the star of any party. You can find us at your local Albertsons or Tom Thumb in the deli section. If you can't find it, talk to your store manager and tell them, Yo Quiero guacamole.
Star Sports Tours is the only official fan travel partner of the Dallas Cowboys, offering exclusive game weekend travel packages with pre-game sideline access and photo ops with current players, cheerleaders, and Cowboy legends. You want to stay at a team hotel, attend the best tailgate party in Texas, tour the Star, and talk X's and O's with me, Everson Walls? With Star Sports Tours, you can. Visit cowboystravel.com to book your travel package today.
Back to Mick Shots.
Hey, Nate, do you eat, sleep, and breathe Dallas Cowboys football?
Yes, I do.
Tell us how you spice up the game for a chance to be named the 2023 Cowboys Fan of the Year, presented by Captain Morgan, and win exclusive prizes plus a trip to Super Bowl 58. Nominate yourself if you want, or another today at dallascowboys.com/fan of the year. And
brag on yourself.
Continue here on Mick Shots, Mickey Spagnola, Isaiah Standback, Nate Newton, and you guys who are texting us on the text line.
That's right.
Isaiah.
The text line over here, the Cowboys text line, 817-290-3298 for those that do not have that number, but for those who already had it, and you guys have sent in some questions, we appreciate you. One of the questions that was posed on the text line was, how has Awesome Richards looked at camp? This year's draft pick over there at tackle, what is he looking like right now?
He look okay. He played a little guard, 76, I'm thinking you're talking about. So he's played at left guard behind Tyler Smith. When he makes contact, he's physical.
Okay.
He can move people off the ball. Got to get a little more shifty with his feet, and I see a lot of inside guys have that problem, because they used to just dominating in college. Where in pros, you're gonna face all type like Ozzie, Osa, who can get upfield, who's quick, who can get lateral movement. Guys like that who got great lateral movement. You got to be able to move your feet. You got to be able to have proper sets. So you got to continue to work on that, and always hands, proper placement with the hands.
Do you think he's a tackler or a guard?
I think he's a guard. At
6'5".
Yeah, it don't matter. Not in today's NFL, because you just see it across the board, all different positions. If you saw a center when I played that was more than 6'2" or 6'3", he looked out of whack. Nowadays,
guys are big.
You play where you play.
Yeah.
If you're athletic enough and savvy enough, you play wherever they put you.
So being that that's Austin Richards over there on the offensive side of the ball, on the flip side, Mick, people on the text line want to know, how is Mozzie Smith going? How's he doing? They want to know specifically about Saturday, but just overall, how has Mozzie Smith been looking?
So, in my opinion, he is strong. There's no doubt about that. I think he does a good job of taking up double teams, what you want from that guy so other guys can make plays. He's got to play faster. I think they were somewhat worried that he wasn't getting off the snap real quick, and they needed to pick up his play speed, meaning, hey, you got to go. I think in college you probably get by with just being strong. Now your technique has to be better, and that's kind of what I've seen from him. I thought at times on Saturday he had a good day, but there were other times he was getting turned, which you don't want that guy to get turned.
Nate, as an offensive lineman, what advantage do you gain by a defensive lineman not getting off on the snap?
He's not going to be able to get off and get tackles. In this game, 6 inches makes all the difference in the world. If I can get to you, if we're right here, and I can get right here on you right here, and all I need is to get right here, you beat, because I got a head and a shoulder you got to get past. And that's what's messing him up. In college, he could just take people up off their feet and bench press them back into the running back. Here, these guys are through the deal. You've turned.
Just
you
as strong,
slightly turn, and that's all it takes. What he has to do is read the head and believe what he sees. Step right, step right. Step left. Get that hand to the outside of that pad, or to the middle, to the outside of that pad, so you can turn the offensive player. Now you have a chance to release and make a tackle. But if he turns you, you're blocked off and the running back is running.
So you're talking about leverage.
Yeah, I'm talking all about leverage, man. All about hand placement and leverage and seeing and believing. He's not taking false steps. They're just slow. If you step right, I step right. And now I'm stronger than you. I'm better than you. I can bench press you right back into this guy. Reach out, tackle him. 3-yard gain. Other way, it's a 4 to 5 yard gain.
I saw an example of what you want to see from him, where he did step in. He was getting ready to step into the backfield. Excuse me, and they like T.J. Bass so far, rookie, free agent, guard.
Yep, at Oregon.
Destroyed him. Just put him on the ground, and I'm going. That's how strong he is, and he was quick that time. He got in on Bass, and he turned Bass.
How much of that do you think is his confidence boosted when he faces another guy that he knows is also a rookie versus going against another
It's
vet?
totally different, because 2 plays earlier, that same guy is Smith, and it ain't happening. That boy, when Tyler Smith lay his hands on you,
he gonna bless you.
It's gonna be the same amount of strength now with a veteran leverage.
Right.
And there's one thing I like about this kid. If he's going to his left, he'll a little bit better.
Who's that you talking about?
I'm talking about Maz.
Okay.
He's a little bit better. Seems to get that left hand in there, and he's literally stops the guy from any type double team. So them linebackers be running free. But when they go into the right, he's a little bit slower. So, and that's where Smith gets him and just knocks him off the ball, because he's trying to muscle him, and Smith just started turning him.
Yeah.
And back's got 2-3 lanes to the outside. So if he can just see and read, see and believe, see and react, and what you have to do is come out here and hit these pads. What you got to do is get on that 2-man sled and let him pop it out, because they got the little arm of that pop out. Boom. Yeah. He got to be able to learn to step. Boom, boom. When you see color, you got to step.
Give people a visual. And I got both of you guys are historians of the Cowboys. Name a defensive lineman that was an interior defensive lineman that had such an impact on the inside that allowed their second level linebackers to be able to free flow and make plays.
We ain't got to go far, Jonathan Hankins.
Okay.
Last year.
Yeah.
I mean, he was eating up blocks, and then all of a sudden he get his arm hurt.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, the team rushed for a lot, but you can see the difference when he's in the game. When he's on point, he's stepping.
Yeah.
You know, and he's doing what he's got to do. So that is the thing. Gallimore, Big Bohanna, they ain't doing that. They want to step, but they want to turn because they always trying to get into a pass rush mode. That's why they in trouble now. That's why he made. Never mind, I ain't getting.
No, you're exactly right.
Yeah.
Because if there was a fault to the defense last year, was the inability to stop the run, and you're thinking with these bigger guys in the middle with Hankins, because there are times they line up Hankins and Mozzie together.
That's your first and second. I talked to Quinn. That's your first and second down backs. Especially if they're coming off the goal line, them the two guys that's running out there. And Bohannon don't want to see that. Bohannon, if you got friends out there, Texas, Big Noon say you don't want to see that.
Yep.
Because where do you fit?
That's your job, yeah.
And his job may be in
jeopardy, so he got to come on and play.
Yeah.
Yes, sir, he does.
He and
because
Gallimore.
this Villamar Fajoko
Junior.
They like him.
Yeah.
They like him.
And see, and the other thing they've done also in the middle is they've put Chauncey Golston inside too.
He's having an impact.
Right?
That's your secret mix.
Yeah.
When all else fails, coach will be like, pour him in.
But that's the guy that they want getting vertical. So they have guys on their roster that they want to put in there to get vertical get up the field. When they put Big Bo in there, when they put Mozzie in there, when they put Jonathan Hankins in there, they don't want to see those guys getting vertical unless they are literally driving somebody back.
Right.
They want to clog up space. That's not their job. They've come out and said it over and over again. Dan Quinn said it. We got Mozzie Smith to go up there and clog things up. He is a toilet clogger. That's what we want.
All right, I got a visual
when he take
on
that. Yeah. He won't dump folks in the head. Yeah.
And with that, we will end Mick Shots here on this Monday. We'll be back on Wednesday here from Oxnard, California. Thanks to Isaiah for stepping in. Nate, glad to
thank Bill.
You didn't get lost on your day off on Monday.
No.
And we hope Bill Jones will join us. That's hard to say. Join us.
Yeah.
Next Wednesday, he's back in Dallas. I'm Mickey Spagnola, and that was Cowboys Mick Shots. Thanks also to Chris Beam helping us out here.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys? Yeah!